The Manufacturing of Mischiefs by Pedro Reyes. We're in a classroom at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. A lumpy something sits on a desk in the middle of the room with a sheet covering it. Elon Musk enters the room. He's holding a ribbon in his hand that says, "First place." He's just walking into this room for the first time, and he's getting his bearings. Then he notices the lumpy something. He looks around. Would it hurt if he just had a peek at what's under the cloth? He creeps over to it. He looks at the door. He listens. Nothing. His hands long to remove the sheet. He extends an arm, and it inches towards the sheet. His face lights up. His fingers are ready to whip off the sheet. And just as the tips of his finger brush the cloth, the classroom door bursts open, and Noam Chomsky enters.
Mr. Musk.
Christ!
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
No. I should have been... I just wanted to see the device in person.
I understand. Our brains try to put the brakes on, but we sometimes find our desires have cut the cable.
I am so excited.
Well, MIT certainly provided you with options. Of all the student devices created for the competition, are you happy with your choice of this one as the winner?
Oh, indeed. I understand it's just a prototype, but if it were to ever work, we would be in an immediately different world.
What does the device do?
Didn't you sit on the jury?
You know, I'm like the last legitimate American thinker. I'm busy.
Fair enough. Why don't you have a peek?
You know, I'm wary
Of?
of what people like you get in return for your massive donations.
Pardon?
Of college campuses simply becoming funnels for unchecked artificial intelligence advancement. Funnels for businesses like, well, yours. We must take great care with both the seeds we plant and the manner in which they grow.
Isn't it glorious?
Both Musk and Chomsky stare at the device. Musk takes a few silent, fascinated steps toward it, like Indiana Jones approaching the golden idol in the opening scene of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I have been studying patent law a lot.
Musk's hands ache to grab hold of the device, and just before he actually can, Millie and Chip enter. They're two MIT students.
Hello, Professor.
Chip, Millie, there's someone here I'd like you to meet.
Wow. Elon Musk. As I live and breathe.
Close, Chip. It's Elon Musk.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very nice to meet you, sir.
Your professor has many concerns about these projects.
Well, it's kind of Professor Chomsky's thing to have concerns.
I'll pin this officially on in a few hours. But let's see how it looks.
Musk affixes the blue first place ribbon to the device.
Breathtaking. If only this device worked now.
You mean it doesn't work?
They're all theoretical models.
Actually, it was a theoretical model.
It works?
It does.
Anything Mr. Musk likes too much makes me nervous. Will you show me how it works?
Why show you how it works when I can tell you how it works? So, you take a book, like, say, Karl Marx, Dos Capitans.
He means Karl Marx's Das Kapital.
And you insert the book here.
Chip puts the book into the device, which is called the print-a-friend. We call it the print-a-friend. Before anyone can say or do anything about it, the machine starts buzzing and humming, and its blinking lights are flashing. And then suddenly, a huge burst of white light blinds us all. When it dissolves, Chip is gone. But a reanimated Karl Marx is standing in the classroom.
Did I get in? Is this cat heaven?
Cat heaven?
Karl Marx? Karl Marx is here? Wow.
Fascinating. Stunning. But no good. I don't like this at all. And, where's Chip?
Well, what happens is when a person puts the book into the machine, they kind of get blasted around space-time for a bit. I mean, well, mostly it's Chip. I mean, even when I put the book in, he's the one that goes. Oh, poor guy. But he still returns, usually.
Millie, I mean, this is extremely dangerous.
Well, but we thought this way the AI research going on here could actually be in service of the philosophy department.
Oh.
We thought you would like it. Musk tries to be casual, but his eyes are lighting up at the sight of Karl Marx. His fingers itchy to touch the new toy. He looks at Millie.
Millie, do you know anything about patent law?
Science of this nature should not be considered by its ability to create dollars, Mr. Musk. It should be considered by its ability to affect the human experience. And if people are going to send poor Chip whirling through space-time every time they
But
twitch on
think of what this will do to the human experience. I mean, students in every classroom in the world can now talk to actual Karl Marx.
Yes. And I suppose all the profits from this device will go back to the school which created it?
Well, some of the profits, sure. I mean, probably.
For the first time, Marx's eyes light on someone, Elon Musk. And with the forcefulness and weight of his immense genius, Marx turns to face him.
You are the capitalist of the future. I take it.
Yeah, you can think of me as Jules Verne meets...
Ayn Rand?
Well, it's funny that you should mention that.
Everyone
because,
quiet.
Because I was
I
just...
said quiet. I have something to ask.
Everyone is quiet, and they look at the great Karl Marx, who, with his hands behind his back, begins to circle Musk like a shark looking for prey.
What you are telling me, in no uncertain terms, is that in this room, right now, there are absolutely no cats.
No, we don't have any cats.
no,
Cats
there
are
are no
allowed
cats.
in the classrooms
No
here
cats.
at MIT.
No, we don't have
Categorically
any
no cats.
Yeah,
No.
no.
We don't have any cats.
All right,
What kind of-
all right, fine. Are your workers, the workers who produce this machine, personally invested in these products? Or do the machines they operate think for themselves?
Well, no one thinks for a human. My machines think alongside us.
Wait, are you saying that the philosophical giant Karl Marx, standing right before you, is in fact not thinking?
Well, this is new technology, so if you can just give me a minute to understand it.
But that's the point, Mr. Musk. Karl fucking Marx is standing right here before you. Understanding this device won't change that. We're now forced instead to deal with the consequences.
Oh, I'm not much of a trouble, really, huh? Tea and toast, but angels. Misplace one cat and he fucking loses his shit. Now, these workers that have created this machine, what level of personal investment do they have in their product?
They have the same stake any human has in their own survival.
I'm afraid, Mr. Marx, that's no longer the central question. Instead, we need to ask who will get their hands on this technology first, and whom will they bring back?
So, if someone removes the power source from this machine, Do I cease to exist?
Surely not throughout all of history, no.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm afraid I just don't know.
Holy God.
I'm sorry, Mr. Marx. I'm just a student.
But that's a bit the point, Millie, you stupid cow. Students are encouraged to create, but creation in a vacuum of moral consequences...
Well, we just heard that Mr. Musk was coming, and so we raced to make the most exciting, interesting thing that we could. We weren't thinking about...
I want another shot down here. I don't want to cease to exist.
Calm down, Mr. Marx. We will make this right. Believe
You know,
us.
people like you pop up on college campuses all the time and force students to abandon their morality in the name of dollars and then profiteer from what they create.
That is entirely unfair.
There are no kittens here. That is unfair.
Chip has been gone for far too long. I'm going to go find him.
Isn't he floating somewhere in space-time?
Well, yes, but I thought... and Millie, in a burst of tears, leaves the room.
With all due respect, Mr. Musk, I'm not sure you're the person to set our moral compass. Tell me, just how much Marx have you read?
Well, I've read some philosophy.
Oh, yes? Please do tell. Who?
In fact, the first deep impression on my mind was made by someone you referenced earlier.
Musk pulls a book out of some place, and before anybody can stop him, he thrusts the book into the print-a-friend. The machine again begins to rumble and shake and smokes and blinks, and a bright white light blinds everybody. When it clears, a woman stands before us. Everybody stares at the woman, mouths on the floor.
Did you put in Atlas Shrugged?
I did!
For fuck's sake.
Atlas did more than shrug, my good men. He reanimated the one person who can save this sinking ship. And you, are you Karl Marx?
I am.
For fuck's sake.
Your philosophical giant despises the systematically oppressed.
Systems of oppression exist only in the mind.
Oh, really? Try driving through Mississippi sometime.
You know who I am. I must know who you are.
Writer/philosopher came after you. As highly regarded, though.
You'll have lovely eyes.
No, I don't.
Fair enough.
And what have we here?
A university student device. It's what reanimated you.
Oh, that's funny, because I have been studying patent law lately.
They teach that in hell?
Pardon?
None of us are pardoned. Schools want so badly to funnel their graduates into the tech world. And here we sit, academics in the aftermath, trying to just make sense of it all.
I didn't listen to anything you just said. But I do have one question. Who owns this device?
That would be me. I made a huge donation to the school. Now I own what comes out of it.
Are my ideas still relevant?
Extremely.
Are hers?
Well, I would have said no about 8 months ago, but now that Nazis are back into the mix politically...
I think I want to go home now.
I'm sorry. I'm not certain you can.
I need some air.
Marx goes outside to get some air.
Ayn Rand is still relevant. I'll prove it to you.
Musk takes a newspaper sitting on a desk.
The Time this morning, an article about how her Ideologies persists.
No, don't do that. Don't
He
put that in the
shoves
machine.
the newspaper into the printer friend. Lights, smoking, puffing, shaking, bright white, blinding lights. When the lights clear, everyone is looking at the printer friend. What is coming out? Suddenly, a tiny arm, then another tiny arm, and finally a tiny head with an absurd mop of stupid hair emerges. Instead of a full-sized puppet, however, this is a hand puppet. No legs, squeaky voice. Why, it's fully emasculated tiny Trump.
I knew Trump University would be huge.
It's like Trump, only tiny. It's like a tiny Trump.
Why the hell did he come out?
He was mentioned in the article.
You all fail Trump University.
This is MIT.
MIT stands for maybe it's Trump's.
No, it stands for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
He swings a tiny golf club and we hear an unseen golf ball ping off the walls of the room.
Bang, bing, bong, bibbidi bong. Careful of the art.
Don't get meta now.
This device here, in the right hands, in John Galt's hands. But who is the modern John Galt?
Well, I don't mean to brag, but
Bing bong, bing bong.
Somebody
bibbidi
take
bong.
that golf club away from him.
Who is this moron?
He's the president.
Of the United States? Ugh. I'm gonna puke. Give me that club. Rand rushes at tiny Trump, swipes at him, misses.
When Ayn Rand thinks you're too polarizing to be president.
Come back, you lemon-headed buffoon.
Come up, you loser.
wait a minute. Just a moment ago, we were talking about how I was the new John Galt.
Well, as long as we keep it out of the hands of the government, this device will cement power into the hands of the capable. The incapable will simply die away. Think of what we're left with.
Heaven.
Auschwitz. You know, Elon, you talk a good game. The need to fund universities so students can further AI. But I'd still like to know, what human feeling, what human thing would you say AI will most help?
What you mean, human feeling?
Yes, students are human. If you're fit to judge a science competition, you should have an answer. Why should students funnel profits from their ideas into your company?
Well, it seems to me that in the long run, the investment they make now becomes.
Human emotion, please.
Well,
Musk starts to shake, smoke, and rattle. What the hell is going on?
Ingrained into college campuses, build employee, fly to Mars, own the future, electric car, build college campuses, electric car, own employee, ingrained future.
Musk is really starting to shake now. Steam is coming out of his ears. Suddenly his faceplate falls off. Circuits are revealed behind his face. He is a robot. He crumbles to the floor. Everyone is silent, but never one to bother with cordiality, or empathy for that matter. Tiny Trump does what he does best. He looks around the room and makes it all about him.
You know, I am so much better looking than all of the people in this room.
Tiny Trump notices down-smoking, faceless Elon Musk. Everyone notices Tiny Trump noticing down-smoking, faceless Elon Musk.
Get up, loser. That's not how you bang Miss Universe contestants.
Karl Marx bursts back into the room, sees the down-smoking robot Elon Musk.
What happened here?
I always imagined this is what happened to anyone who talk. face to face with Ayn Rand.
My new John Galt is a fraud. But where can I find another?
I know lots of weirdo rich dudes. Chicken liver. Ever been to Russia?
I was born in St. Petersburg.
No, huh? I'll take you, chicken chips.
Tiny Tramp and Rand move to the door, but Chomsky stands in their way.
I am sorry, but I don't think I can let you leave.
No man has ever prevented me from any single thing I have ever attempted.
Yeah, I know. That's the first time you have said that, and I kind of like. Still, no one leaves this room until we figure out about this device.
You mean figure out how to remove us
No,
from existence?
Run, little man.
Ayn
Run.
Rand and Tiny Trump bolt for the door. Chomsky leaps on top of Ayn Rand while Tiny Trump climbs on Chomsky's face and starts to punch it. Squeaky, sad, ineffective punching. Marx throws his body on the pile and a mess ensues. Chomsky is holding down a struggling Rand.
Get off
Tiny
me.
Trump is now on Marx's head, poking him in the eyes. Marx is shrieking and swatting at the Tiny Trump. Just then, Chip, from nowhere, bursts into the room.
Hey, you guys. I've got the perfect book for the printer-friend.
Huh?
Mein Kampf.
No! And everyone jumps on Chip. In the melee, Rand and Tiny Trump are able to rush off out of the room. Eventually, Marx, Chip, and Chomsky realize that they're just fighting each other and stop. Robot Musk is still smoking on the floor. Millie enters.
Chip! Thank God!
What is space-time like?
Oh, it's really modern, you know? Clean lines, open concept.
Okay. Then pull the newspaper and the book from the device.
No, please don't do that. No, I need another chance. Let me exist down here.
Mr. Marx, you gave the world its most sophisticated defense against the forces of greed.
Yes. And you gave the loudest voice for the smallest worker.
You invented sauerkraut.
Yes.
It's true. It's all true, except for the sauerkraut part.
You gave in one lifetime more than most people could in 100. Go back to the history books, Mr. Marx. It's where you belong.
They all look solemn as Millie readies to remove Das Kapital from the machine. She pulls it out. They all wince and flinch, expecting Marx to be sucked away. But no. There he still stands. What happened? Or rather, what didn't happen?
Bing bong. Bibbidi bong. Ding dong 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 ding.
They're out there somewhere. The device created them, but it doesn't know how to get rid of them. The horror. The horror. The lights fade. The end.